So I really like Barna's cultural stumbling blocks. I like how they focus on kind of the fact that issues between folks who are trying to communicate across cultures, that when there are issues in their communication, it's not necessarily that one of them is racist or terrible or hates the other person, or even totally ignorant, but just there are these like minor errors or mistakes that maybe you were a little anxious, or maybe you just misunderstood something in a way that I think kind of lowers the stakes and makes communication feel like something that can be learned or can be fixed, and not necessarily just something that if it's bad or if there's a problem, that problem exists because one of you is bad, or one of you is the problem instead of just kind of something smaller. And an experience that I had that might be similar, say one of my first college friends was from India, and she was hanging out with myself and a couple other people just from kind of the southern United States, and one of them said something to the other about sitting Indian style, and she looked at them with this like puzzled look and said, "I don't sit like that." And there's this kind of awkward moment where we couldn't tell if she was joking or not, which kind of falls into a couple of his cultural stumbling blocks, both in terms of just kind of misunderstandings, but also then anxiety because we didn't want to offend anyone. And then it turns out she actually was making a joke and it was all okay, but also we were being kind of racist, that there is a term that doesn't quite describe what it was supposed to describe any longer. And kind of reflecting on that, I don't know if it's enough to just be aware that a stumbling block has occurred. I think you do need to be prepared to then kind of change your path to avoid them in the future. And the other question was about tolerance, and I think that's a very interesting question. I am not a fan of the word tolerant. I don't think I know I don't want to just be tolerated. I want people to accept me, to want to know me, to want to understand, to enjoy me, to embrace me. I don't want to just be tolerated, and so I think we can tolerate the fact that there are stumbling blocks to culture. We can just live with the fact that when our culture interacts with another culture, there might be some areas of discomfort before kind of communication is established. But I think that's all we should tolerate. I don't think we should just tolerate other cultures.